Explorer and extreme adventurer Jordan Wiley has been to the ends of the earth to keep a promise he made to a young boy in Africa. He went on a series of fundraising challenges to raise enough money to build a new school in Djibouti. Here's what he's been up to. Well, Jordan is with us now. Hello, superstar. Thanks for joining us. Tell us about your journey.
Thanks for having me on, Kay. It's been an incredible journey over the last 3 years, from laying that first brick and making the promise to a little boy in Djibouti on the Horn of Africa, to then going back there a couple of months ago and cutting the ribbon and opening a new school for 250 children, which is probably one of the most fulfilling things, alongside being a father, that I've ever done, to be able to keep that promise. And of course, it's thanks to the amazing great British public and people like yourselves, of course, some amazing donors out there. So thank you.
Okay, tell me what you did.
So the most recent one, and the theme of the new book, The Power of the Paddle, that was an attempt to paddleboard around Great Britain. Unfortunately, due to COVID restrictions, after 149 days at sea and 2,377 kilometres, we were cut short. But, you know, as I always say, it's not about what you do, it's about why you do it. And the power of the paddle really is the tale of those adventures, from running through really cold, extreme climates to rowing dangerous stretches of water, to doing as much as I can really to get the pounds in the bucket and encourage people to sponsor me. But to be honest, I've just been having an amazing time. The hard work is the people who have kindly donated. You know, that's what's made a difference ultimately.
Now, you almost made it around the coastline. It wasn't your fault that you had to stop, was it?
It wasn't, unfortunately, you know, and I certainly have no complaints, but I was stopped just short of John O'Groats after 5 months at sea. The Scottish Government went into what was a level 4 lockdown at the end of last year, so it meant that I had to terminate. But I was very lucky and very fortunate and blessed to be able to have an adventure when most people were in lockdown. And, you know, to be on the ocean for that long was a real privilege. And so no complaints from my side at all.
Now, tell me about Djibouti. You made the promise and you've been back since, and now you've opened the school, have you?
Yeah, we've been back. I've been back over the last 3 years, probably 12, 13 times to the Horn of Africa, which is, Djibouti is the most incredible place. The people, I think anyone who's ever been to Africa knows how special it is, but especially the Horn of Africa and East Africa. For me, there's something about the spirit, the culture and the people that's just so warm and loving. And I met a little boy out there 3 years ago, and I've spent a lot of time in the Horn of Africa in my previous life in the security sector. And I think when you see some of the hardships that people go through, you know, the Horn of Africa, Djibouti especially, which is a very safe place, has been a refuge for children from places like Somalia, Yemen, Ethiopia, and some of the challenges that they face. So you can't help but be compelled to do something. And for me, little Ibrahim, who I met out there, pulled on my heartstrings enough, and I probably bit off more than I could chew at the time. But yeah, we built a school, and I must also say thank you to the Minister of Education in Djibouti, and also the British Ambassador, Ambassador Joe McPhail, who've been very supportive and helped me sort of smooth that process, which can be very difficult operating in these sort of challenging environments.
Is the school just for boys, rather?
Absolutely not, Kay. It's very equal. It's probably 50-50 to be quite honest, and that was something that certainly the ambassador and myself were really keen on making sure happened. As we know, in some parts of the world, equality for females, and especially young female children, is very challenging. But that was something. In fact, that was one of the conditions that the minister wanted, that we built a school that it would be full of equality. So we definitely tick that box, which is great.
Excellent. What's next? What extreme adventure have you got planned next?
Well, actually, the reason I did the paddle in the first place was because I couldn't finish my polar marathons because of the COVID regulations. So I'm actually thanks to my sponsor, Eaton Harris, I'm actually heading to Antarctica in about 3 weeks' time. So I'm just currently filling out all the paperwork and documentation to get myself through Chile. Lots of PCR tests and processes and procedures, as you can imagine, in the current climate. But hopefully I'll be running marathon number 5 of 10, which has been a long time coming, the most southerly marathon and one of the coldest in the world in Antarctica.
OK, and I can just see, just before I let you go, you're wearing your poppy with pride?
Yeah, always wear my poppy with pride. Obviously, a really important time at the moment. Remembrance, every day is Remembrance Day, especially as a former soldier. But yeah, I'm going to be flying the flag for the Army Cadets. Actually, I'm going to be laying a wreath in Blackpool at the Cenotaph this weekend. So very honoured, of course, to be one of the national ambassadors for the Army Cadet Force, incredible youth organisation. And yeah, it's a really important time of remembrance, of course, where we remember that the sacrifices that have been made by so many. So, really important to be wearing my poppy with pride, as you say.
Standing shoulder to shoulder with your dad again this year?
Absolutely, yeah. Standing shoulder to shoulder with my dad, who's a Falklands veteran, a former Royal Marine. So, yeah, one of the proudest days of the year for me to march alongside my dad in my hometown.
OK, fantastic. Good to talk to you. Thanks, as always, Jordan Wyllie. Thank you.
Thank you, Kay.
Thanks.